So what inspired you stepping into this field, or into this world of creative director, cinematographer, and all this?
COVID hit 2019 and I was in school. I was a bit interested in the YouTube.
What was your first project?
My first project was this, it was a concert.
What is the biggest challenge you faced?
I would say the lack of education.
What was the biggest lesson you learned from your struggles?
You will always be the reason for where you are right now.
All right, people. Today I'm joined by Aman, known Aman X, a talented cinematographer, creative director, and one of standout's name in Addis Ababa. What's up, my guy?
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
All right, let's before we get into the conversation, tell us who you are. I already tell you a bit about yourself. So
Okay, my name is Aman, aka Aman X, before Elon Musk. So I
really?
have the trademark. Yes.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, like you said, I'm a cinematographer, creative director based in Addis. I think that's pretty much it.
Pretty much it.
That's pretty much
All right, let's take you back then to the first childhood.
Childhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what was your life like growing up in Addis? Right? You born in Addis?
Yes, born in Addis. Foreign segregation. Shout out to that.
How was that for you?
Funny enough, very, very mundane. Nothing interesting.
Yeah.
Although now that I think of it, our neighborhood, shout out again, has a lot of artists. So I'm kind of not surprised I'm in the entertainment industry. But yeah, that's about it.
Before you become a creative director, what were you doing?
Well, I used to be a DJ while I was in school.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I was in campus at Addis University, and that's when I actually started working as a DJ.
Okay.
Then I dropped out because I didn't like the degree life, stuff. Like, nah.
Stuff?
Yeah, I couldn't. I didn't understand 9 to 5. Still don't.
Okay.
I've never actually been employed. I don't know if I can, take orders, or I can wake up like at 9. Still wake up at like 11. So
You have your own time.
I can't. I like to work at nights. Nighttime, it gives me some clarity and space that it just, especially around this 2 a.m. That's when I'm more productive. I try to sleep, but I just end up.
What keeps you up and running?
That's a very good question. I don't know.
2 a.m.
I mean, some would say Red Bull, a lot of Red Bull, but mostly at daytime I have a lot of voices in my head and there's a lot to do. I can't really be with myself and things like that, especially after midnight. I think the whole world is asleep.
Yeah.
So I get to, have that comfort in me. So I get to do whatever. I get to think and be productive.
Nice. So what inspired you stepping into this field, or into this world of creative director, cinematographer, and all this?
I don't really know. So COVID hit 2019 and I was in school. I was a bit interested in the YouTube to learn and stuff, but I didn't really think it would get me here. I saw the potential in the country. That was the biggest thing. And I met you. 2019 we met. And I got invested in it. I went back to school, in a different school. But I was learning my degree and still couldn't understand 9 to 5.
Okay.
And I didn't see passion in it. So, the more I learned about cinematography and, filmmaking, I began to fall in love with it. So, yeah. I
remember you told me you went to school for it.
Yes.
How was that experience?
Not schooling. Biggest lessons I've learned is I got to connect with really nice people.
Yeah.
I worked with well. Education wise, it gave me the most basic education, but everything else I give knowledge to YouTube, because I remember even internet became a thing. COVID was there, and all I had was time. So It was just me and Peter McNaughton, Daniel Schiffer,
Yeah, I know the
Potato
sequel.
Jet. It was just seeing what they were doing, and it was like, why am I not doing this? You
Yeah.
know? And I used to crunch like a lot of YouTube videos a day. I don't even watch any
remember.
movies. Yeah,
I remember you have a lot of tabs open.
I did.
Oh my
Those
God.
tabs, now was
That
the
was
whole
crazy.
thing.
So, what was your first? I mean, I don't know if it's the same.
Mm.
What was your first project, and how did that shape your vision?
My first project was this. So it was a concert. I was even, I was just there to be a busboy,
Okay.
and it was like a 5-day project, and I've never really had access to my own camera and stuff, and that was very exciting for me. But what was the most biggest lesson I learned was I wanted to show my potential.
Yeah.
And so I got to have a conversation with the producer so that I could convince him to give me the footages and give him a recap. It's funny enough, it was the lesson that day was that I slacked for like an hour to get home and edit it,
Oh, okay.
and they had to take back the drive. So I missed the opportunity to make my own, like
Creation.
to show to show my potential. So after that, I kind of made it my goal to never miss an opportunity
Okay.
and just give it all. That was the day. That was my first project.
I remember we were shooting like when I brought my camera.
Yeah,
This
the burger commercial.
Yeah. How was that? I mean, that was for me at first.
Yeah.
Seeing you with the camera.
Yeah. I mean, it was a very low budget commercial that took like 3 days. That was funny. But I was, all those YouTube videos, all that knowledge, I wanted to put it into action, and I was just jumping in any opportunity that I could get. And that was one of the first. And lucky enough, it gave me like a rolling stone that kept on growing and growing, and it gave me the energy, the connections, and the opportunities that pretty much set the path for me.
Nice. How was it when you compare it back, that project we did together, and now you have much bigger people, stuff? Do you miss it sometimes? The old days?
No, I don't. Because I want to learn. I want to be bigger, and I still believe that I'm like yay big, not even.
Okay.
And what I need to accomplish and learn and become is just like a 10% maybe. So for me, that was like yesterday. The growth rate that I have from that day to now, it feels like yesterday.
So let's talk about your name and your brand, your own brand.
Okay.
Like Aman X, people know.
Yeah.
So how did that develop your style? And how do you think you're a big part of Addis cinematic scene?
As a brand, I don't think I'm a brand per se.
Your name, people know. That's what I'm saying.
I guess. Okay. So I mean, it just came up because it's funny. I used to, when I was a freelancer, I used to go around with my laptop and camera at the same time. And, this one day I was wearing like a white shirt, and it made an X on me. I was like, I guess that could be my name. Just say Aman X. From there, I just wanted to open up my own media company, which I gave birth to Black U Media. And then, from there, I became a part of, joint company, this Luminous.
Okay.
So both companies working together to, grow and become, that kind of just created the brand that I was looking for. Now it's just about becoming, the best there is. And in the city, I guess being a night owl really gave me the opportunity to work in the nightlife sector much more. And I like it. It's nice.
So you control the nightlife, kind of.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. But I love it. I love nightlife. There's a lot of, it could be better.
Yeah.
Whatever you do in life, it could be better. Mil concept kalle.
Yeah.
There's no other, obstacle. You can do it all.
So what's one element of like Ethiopian culture you feel is underrepresented in a cinematography way? Like,
oh, that's a very good question. I wouldn't know. I would say dedication.
Mm.
And especially now that people have access to a lot of things.
Yeah.
Back when I started, I didn't get a lot of access to a lot of things, so I had to push further more. Nowadays it's very easy to create content and stand out and be meaningful. Everybody can create content, but creating a content that has meaning is always, that should matter more.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I would say more dedication into the craft. If you're working in what you're doing, you should do it as best as you can. And the only comment you should accept is your own and from yesterday. So with that, we lack the energy and dedication that needs to push. Like you see cinematography on the worldwide scale, even in Africa, it's grown exponentially. And I believe that we are really behind it all.
So it's a good lead, because some people might argue that Ethiopian creative scene is becoming too influenced by Western, so, and losing the unique identity. What is your take on that?
I can't really. I feel like the music industry and entertainment by itself has its own culture.
Yeah, sure.
So you can't really say it's influenced. Yes, it has some influential factors, but you see artists coming up every day now that they are making their content cultural and have roots. But you live in a very global world, so you can't really say I'ma be my own very clean. And as time goes, generation change, ideas shape into their own, self.
Yeah, but some things we should be influenced by, especially in the movie industry in Ethiopia, and we are lacking a bit. So
I mean, I always say, and I might get a backlash on this, but it would have been better if we were colonized.
I don't want to go there, but we're too proud for that. I mean, just to have a better movie scene, I don't. I
mean, you deny that, but at the end of the day, you're still colonized. The way you dress, the way you talk, the way we eat, it's back end colonization. At least the other countries right now are trying to bring back their culture. We're currently losing ours, and from infrastructure and civilized understanding, we're still at the back end. And the only thing we have is pride.
That's true. We still have to work on it. Sometimes we should put our pride on the side and then just get going.
Would have been better, but we would have gotten places by now.
With that being said, what is the biggest challenge you faced during your career as a creative director, especially in Ethiopia?
I would say the lack of education, like the lack of people that are willing to open up and teach you. And at the same time, I would say the whole industry is kind of in, young age itself, that, in order for you to learn, you have to go extra miles, because at the end of the day, we learn from the people that we look up to. And there are people that we look up to right now. Great people. But at the same time, even they're also figuring it out to a point that to learn and expand to the level that is very good. We still have so much potential. People that want to learn. We just need the energy and the infrastructure.
All right. So how do you handle setbacks, whether it's creative blocks or logistic issue? How do you work that?
Red Bull.
Is that the answer to everything?
Especially if it's night, yeah.
So, was there a set where you just lost something, forgot something, where you had to go back and reshoot, or anything like that?
Always, but 2 Red Bulls is better
than 1.
Yeah, fix it.
So, what is the one thing you will never forget about being on a scene? Something you did, shot, and then at the end, when you go back and edit it, it's not there, or it's not how you liked it, or how you want it.
I would say that's 95% of the time how I work. Yeah, I've never been. There's always room to grow. I've never been. I was like, yes, I got it. Meal satisfaction. I don't know, bro. I've never had that. Yeah,
Do you think it's gonna come to you?
That's the aim. Yeah, I hope. At least like 95% can, like 5% at least mounted. So it's a lot of work, as I said.
So do you think especially the Ethiopian creative industry, need more collaboration with others to get better at their own stuff?
Definitely. And we need more, not just like collaborations, but you live in a third world country to be creative. You have so many obstacles already aligned for you. So what we should have and could use is as much opportunities from even from government sectors or international sectors, whatever it is, including creative people, to give the opportunity to local artists and creatives that will give them the opportunity to learn, make mistakes, and grow, because that's the only way we can.
So you wouldn't say we're, as an Ethiopian storytelling creative, we're not ready to compete globally?
What? Hell no. No.
What do you think I mean, you said it already. We miss education. We lack a lot of working together. So what is the key you think it's missing? Other than these two things.
I think it's a little less time worrying about today and more time worrying about the bigger picture.
Okay.
That way you will leave your ego and work with people, even, not as developed as you. It will give you more minds to come together and, grow. And, be kind and not have all, exterior motives that are business oriented or whatever. This is a creative environment. Let us come together and create something.
All right. You mentioned you were being DJing, or you were a DJ. So tell me one interesting story about that. Like where you were performing and then shit go down.
There's a few, but I remember this time there's like like a while back, events and parties were not as conventional as this.
Yes, today's, yeah.
It's just like everywhere, the small events, people gather. There's not social media or whatever. So I just got called out of the blue for like an event that they were doing, and I think it was around some government altercation, or I can't really remember. It was a while back, but I don't know if I should say this though.
Just say what happened. Don't say exactly where and when.
Anyways, I was just playing. We were on really high energy, and the place was on the roof. And let's just say, we were about to get shut down. And my last song was, I'm not going to say it, but it was by NWA. And Ice Cube was saying some shit. And I just went out the window.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, that was one thing. I should not be saying that.
Crazy times.
But yeah, that's one time. That was funny.
Never again.
Oh, I'm good. Thanks.
So what was your DJ name? Because you had a different name.
I still have it. Like my stage name is Stoic.
What does that mean?
Stoic. It means to
at least.
Huh?
What does it mean
for
to
me? Well, for me is what it is, but it's basically to undergo struggle. To be a Stoic is to experience the struggles there is, let it be from the universe or whatever, and the journey itself and who you become through it. That's basically what Stoic means.
All right. So let's talk about the struggle one more time, and then
No. Okay, cool.
So you said you studied in Arba Minch.
Yeah.
And then you stopped.
I dropped out. Yes.
Okay. And after that, you immediately went to this procedure where you were finding out who you want to be. And those times, what was the biggest lesson you learned from your struggles?
Basically, I would say you are the reason. You will always be the reason for where you are right now.
Okay.
So, you know, a lot of people will have hardships. Maybe it's childhood, maybe it's life, whatever, the country. But you sleep mata with your mind and yourself. So if you grow, it's because of you.
Yeah,
If you don't, it's because of you.
of course.
So every small decision that you make, the reason that you know what you know is because you took the time to know. So it's my fault that I am where I am, and it's my work that got me here as well.
Kind of both ways.
It's always both ways. And if you don't like where you are right now, you just have to talk to you. That's the department head that's doing everything, you know, right or wrong. So what is it that you're doing wrong, or what is it that you're doing right, is basically written under the person that is you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would say that.
All right, that's nice. So I'm pretty sure you watched my previous episodes. So as you know, we have a culture on this podcast where previous guests write the question without knowing who they write the question for. And of course, I got one for you too. I want you to read it
Okay.
and answer, and as well write one of your questions. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. So the last one.
Last one. Are you happy? Am I happy?
Interesting.
No.
Somebody got tissue?
No. A lot of people say happiness shouldn't depend on, you know, where you are, who you are, what you do. But for me, happiness is like a gift from God that you'll already have. And if in myself, that whole experience of happiness, I think I'm still learning the gift, and I'm just trying to become grateful. That way, I guess I'll be happy.
So you create your own happiness, kind of.
I do, but you know, the happiness that people know and the happiness that I get, I mean, happiness shouldn't be, you know, conditional. That's why I say it's a gift from God. So my job is to understand the gift. But if I try to make myself happy, I'll just end up with not all the way satisfied. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Aman, for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you so much for having
your
us.
journey.
Yes.
Do you have any last thoughts you want to share with us before we close it or wrap it up?
We'll fix it in post. But yeah, no, thank you for having me. And anything I would say is just don't stop growing until there's more.
All right.
Don't waste your time.
Thank you again for joining me. And people, thank you for watching and listening. Really appreciate you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you next time. Peace. This was Unfiltered Culture. Bye-bye.